Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. I'm Alan Branch from Glove Up. My man David Dice is on the other side with our fighter Brooklyn. And today we're doing some live work. You're basically able to tag in on Brooklyn's training session. We're going to be working on some cool stuff. Dave, we're going to be bobbing and weaving today to set up angles and movements. All right?
Yeah. So Alan, what I'm going to do first is we're going to do just a traditional, bob and weave where we're loading and missing a circular shot, right? And then he's going to counter. Then we'll do some doubles. Then we're going to get into this under out where you're stepping out with it, and you'll see the counters are really nasty. And I'm going to talk through it, so because I'm teaching Brooklyn, but this way the guys watching can learn as he's learning. Okay.
Okay, sounds good, man. I'm gonna give you the floor. Take it away.
All right, so here we go. So we're just gonna throw a circular shot to the left. So Brooklyn is gonna bob and weave to his right. He's under, he's loaded, and he's just gonna come back with three, bang, 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 right? I'm focusing on that pocket and those shoulders turning, the weight shifting, chin down. So again, boom, three, boom, 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 good. Again, boom, 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 boom. I want you to drop straight down. Don't creep over, okay? So you drop straight down. Ready? So you're here, drop straight down and then roll. A lot of people will go over before they roll and they get caught. So straight down roll, bang, bang, bang. Good, again. Boom, bang, bang, bang. Then we got it to his left and he's gonna load that left hook. So bang, bop, bop, bop. Or you can come back with three of anything where you're shifting. Here, bang, bang, bang. Again, bang, 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 bang. Then I'm going to switch hands on him. He doesn't know which one is coming. Don't move your feet. Stay there. Bip, bang, 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 shoom, bip, bang, bang, bang. Now we're going to do a double roll. So he'll roll, roll, bop, bop, bop. Roll, roll, bop, bop, bop. Single, doesn't know where it's coming. This hadn't been rehearsed. Single. All right, so working the bobbing and weaving. And remember, the rule of thumb, guys, is if you make them miss, you got to make them pay. Most people aren't disciplined with their shots, so they continue on. So if you can make them miss you cleanly, the opening is there, and like Alan teaches on his flow series, you have to immediately come back with them, right? And then your eyes are looking for little openings. So whether the counter is a straight hook, a uppercut, or three of these, but it has to be three weight shifts, three loaded shots. Now, Alan, here's what we're working on, the new thing we're working today. So we're going under, because you can't go out first. You got to drop like the floor is dropping away underneath of you. He's going to go under and out. But what he's going to do, he's going to go under here, okay? And then he's going to step out and bring his left foot with him, and he's going to load. So he's way off the line, if you can see that line. So we're going under. So it's a U motion, under and out. Now, the center line is here, so that's where my opponent is. So then he's going to step back in angularly with the hard right hand, and both feet are going to step in. Bang! Now the center line is still here, so the left hook is really going to come down the center line, right? And he drops his head as he does that, so this hand stays up, and then he's going to rip it across to the ribs. So watch how this looks. This works like a champ. So we're going to go about half speed. So first thing, he's going to drop and he's going to step out and roll. Now, he's way out of my line of fire. So he's angular to me. He's going to step in with both feet with a hard right hand. Pow. Now, here's my center line. He's going to throw the left hand there, bang, and he's going to drop his head down. Then he's going to rip across to my ribs. Pow. Right? So again, under and out, back in, straight down, rip it across. Boom. So as he's doing that, so he's under and out, both feet back in with the right hand. This is straight down the center, and I'm dropping when I do that. I've got to deal with that hand, which most people, after a right come into the head and this come into the head, most people will lift both hands up. So I'm dropping down that rib cage, The kidney shot is wide open, so I know I'm not gonna whiff it. I'm gonna step in across with both feet and torque. So I've got body weight moving that way, and I've got torque, right? And I'm not exposed. I'm hidden here, shoulder, got the 4 points of contact, but I'm down, my fist is up. So if you try to throw a wild kick around counter, I'd catch it to my jaw, and then I'm ripping across. So here we go, one more time. So this is gonna be under and out. Both feet in, step across, down the middle, rip it, bang. So if we were fighting, it would look like this. Boom, he'd step in, bang. How about you didn't step in with both feet, okay? Under and out, both feet across with the right hand, bang, right? That to my face, dropping your head down here, and then ripping across, pow, there. Under and out to the right. Does that make sense, Alan?
Yeah, it does. It's a nice setup to get the body. I love the way that we're using the line here. And for you guys watching it, we're real big fans of either having a line or a mirror or a line and a coach so that you can see what you're doing and look at your alignment. So, Dave, where can people get access to more detailed training like that?
I'm sorry, do what?
Where can everybody get access to more training?
Well, I mean, this is a course on our fighterscollege.com. These are advanced moves, and we have, as you know, we have hundreds of these, right? A lot of them are going to require somebody to hold mitts for you, but you can work this on a heavy bag. So if I was working it on the bag, you know, I'd be working my rounds, right? And then I'm going to visualize. Remember, your brain can't tell the difference. If you're focused by yourself, really thinking, your brain can't tell the difference if it's really happening or you're just thinking about it. So you focus. I'm going, here's the heavy bag right here. Can you see the center line, Alan?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so heavy bag's on the center line. Down and out. Back in on the bag with an angle. Both feet bang. Now the center line's here. The next shot can't rip across like a hook. The guy's here. Pop, right? I've dropped, and then bang. So it's a great combo to work on the bag. Just get you a piece of tape and put it in the middle of the bag and put it down on the floor, because it's really important to know where the guy is. A lot of people, as you know, we talk about all the time when they're working a heavy bag, they're just aiming at the bag. They don't know where the center lines are. They don't put a piece of tape where the face, the solar plexus, liver, you know, kidneys will be. And remember, hitting the heavy bag is not a hard thing to do. You want to hit a dot on the heavy bag. But this is you can do this with shadow, you can do it with a heavy bag. All you need is a piece of tape, a mirror, and a bag. You do it with just shadow, piece of tape and a mirror, okay?
Well, one of the things that you always say is how your shadow boxing or your bag work needs to look like you are actually fighting. And you'll notice that a lot of the bag work drills that you might see online are very random. There's no plan. It doesn't look like you're fighting. And the footwork that you see online has nothing to do with boxing. It's pretty cute, but it doesn't apply. It doesn't translate into actual fighting. So this type of lineup is giving you the exact angles and stepping that you need to make it look real. And maybe for some of the people watching, talk about that transfer of skill based on the type of work that you're doing.
Yeah, and so the cool thing is, again, in the Fighters College, we teach all of this, right? So heavy bag. So if you're fighting somebody, you can't stand in the pocket, or as Joe Louis would call that, critical distance line. That line of which when you hit that, it's on, right? You have to work outside of that line. So when you hit that line, you're firing. Most people don't do that. They crowd the heavy bag. A person's going to hit you back. So you've got to be working defense. You've got to relocate. You got to know how to do that. A bag is circular. So you can't just move just laterally. You have to know how to kind of move around the bag, not cross your feet up. Here's one of the things that drives you and I crazy all the time. So you got your center line and you're seeing people doing this to move to the right. Okay? I don't know any coach on the face of the earth that teaches that. But because some outliers can do it and it looks slick, now it's become commonplace. Guys, do not ever cross your feet in front of your fighter. If my fighter's here and I want to move to my right, I move that right foot and drag that left foot, or shoot through and drag. I do not take my front foot and cross it over to take another step. It's an instant knockout. So that is a major no-no. It's made up stuff. All right, so when you're working a heavy bag, it has to be like a person. They're gonna hit you, they're gonna move. You gotta work blocks, defense, combinations, and put dots on the bag. Don't be proud of yourself if you can hit a bag. That's a pretty big target, right? Because accuracy, and Alan, we've talked about this in other ones, when you fight a real accurate fighter where every punch, like a Sugar Ray Leonard, everything is here, here, liver, here, it's a whole different ball game. And they get that good by focusing on little specks on the bag. We talked about that. Fighters College will have all this, how to work every piece of equipment known to mankind, working loads of combinations, the basics, everything. So we're gonna work the other side now. So let's work to the right side, right? So our left sides are forward. Now, so he did the step out here one more time, step out, twist, so he's loaded. He's stepping back in with power, bop, bop, head down, bang to my ribs, right behind me, right that kidney. Moving, doing it the other way. Now watch this. Alan, you and I also talk about the importance of training both sides forward, right? Boxing, it's important. Kickboxing, it's paramount, because if you do a rear leg kick and step here and you panic when that side's forward, a good fighter is going to know this. An average fighter, a new fighter won't. But a great fighter will see you're not comfortable there, okay? And they'll have watched film on you. If you don't ever fight that side forward, they're going to jump you like a duck on a June bug, right? So we work both sides forward. Now here's where it comes to play in this drill. We're going to do an under and out, but we're going to the left. So it's under, out, left, right? He's going to step with his left foot as he goes under and out. Now, all he does is a baby drag there. He's off my line of fire, but he's now got his right side forward. But look where that rear hand is, right on my jaw. He doesn't have to step back in, bang, and then that hook is going to be right down the middle on that center line, okay? Again, so it's going to be under and out, but he's going to end up with his right side forward. This is a really quick way. So it can work for a straight right, an overhand right, a right hook, anything to the head. So under and out, his other side's forward, bang, bang, right there. That would be jaw face. Notice this shot is over the center line because that's where I am. Again, I'm just showing you where it'd be. So my head would be here. That's why I'm flashing this here. And then, so I'm flashing this and I'm flashing this. My head is here. My head is here. I'm not holding targets like that. My head isn't that big, okay? So under and out. He's got that left hand, right hook. All right, again, let's work it with a little speed. Under and out, bang, bang. All right, so when you hit that out mark, I want you to throw the counter. You can see how quick this is. Guy throws a looping shot kind of lazily. You're out, bang. Boom, pow, pow. Right, again. Try it again. Drop first. Out and under gets you knocked out on a loopy shot. You got to drop first. So he's going to drop first, then step out. All right, ready? Go under and out. Left hand, right hook. All right, give me a little speed on that. Under and out. Go. Hook, bye, bye. And he's ready to do whatever. So those are under and outs, not just under and rolling.
Hey, Brian, my man Brooklyn's looking pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
How you feeling, man? You feeling good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you?
So, Dave, let's give everybody a little context. So, Brooklyn's been training about 7 to 8 months.
Yep.
Right? And the emphasis, you guys, with the training method is to start with fundamentals. And what we want to be the best at on YouTube is explaining the what and the why, not just the how, because you see these things, but nobody retains it. Nobody actually does it. They see it. It looks cool. They scroll to the next thing. It takes a minute to develop skill. And if you develop it the right way, you're going to be building a solid foundation that's going to pay you back big dividends over time. We were all just recently at a conference where there were people who had trained for 20 years, 30 years, and they were amazed that Brooklyn was sharper, cleaner, faster in just a matter of months. And it's because of the meticulous way that we break this stuff down and build it. And David, you guys did a great job of breaking that down.
And, you know, Alan, we've got it now broken down. So if anybody wants to be sharp like this, you can be, okay? You know, it isn't like Brooklyn was an all-state athlete in 3 different sports or whatever. He didn't play football. He's an athlete, right? But so it's not one of these exceptional, you know, athletes, right? It's just hard work and methodical practice.
So I guess we could say that you can develop skills to be as good as Brooklyn. It's just going to be hard to be as good looking as Brooklyn. Would you guys agree with that?
That's right. So, but I tell you something about Brooklyn is what, like we worked last night and working again today, because I found out a couple things that I didn't like. I said, man, fix that. So first thing we got done, I said, all right, show me how you fix it. And it was fixed. He had a little bit of too much of a V taper here versus ripping through straight like that, right? So we fixed it. And it's more like a Roy Jones model, because you can kickbox out of that stance. You can't really kickbox out of these old traditional boxing stances where you're hunched over a little bit, because if I'm over here, I can't use this leg, right? They'll tear that leg up. So we got to be a little bit more upright, knees bent. And so that's what we did. Level 1 is finished. People can go to fighterscollege.com and we will talk you through this step by step. And here's why we like you to know the whys, gentlemen, ladies. If you know why you do something, okay, and you understand it, then you can teach it, you can share it, right? And then when you're practicing, if you forget something, when you know the whys stuff, it's easier for you to remember it, right? And then you have to have a complete understanding. If you can't explain in detail what you're doing, you are minimizing how good you can be. A great person in their sport can explain it in detail, why, and then physically do it. Now, our program is unlike any other in the world. Our program, to go from level 1 to 2, right, all the way through level 9, and that's black belt, you not only have to perform the stuff exactly what's listed on the curriculum, and we have all that, but you've got to be able to explain it. Why we do a 3-point stance, why we stand like we do. So you've got to be able to articulate it and then do it. Then you're ready to go to level 2. Then when you do that, you'd be able to teach level 1, right? And then you master level 2. Then level 3, it takes about 3 years, but we're talking about being a world-class practitioner. That doesn't mean you have to be a competitor, but a practitioner. You could walk into any door anywhere in the world and people would go, dang, man, that guy knows what he's doing. That's our goal, right?
For sure. And I talk to coaches from all over the country. And, you know, one of the things while we're discussing the program is I'll just ask them, hey, teach me how to throw a straight right hand. A lot of them don't even know that there's a difference between a right hand and a right cross and an overhand right. They don't know that. And then when it's time, but, you know, it's not that they can't fight or that they don't have good intentions. They were never shown the mechanics and why to break things down in a certain way. So, you know, if they're teaching it to somebody, how difficult is it? Like, it's very difficult to teach someone to be proficient when you can't explain it yourself. So if you're a coach, even a fitness coach that does some combat style fitness classes or boxing, learning the right way to throw makes a difference. I mean, it gives you credibility. It makes your students better, positions you as a better authority for sure, just by knowing the how and the why.
And the neuromuscular coordination, or the brain rewiring, right? When you're thinking about the details and everything, that is what makes your brain work. If you're just going through the motions in some kind of rhythm, right? You may be doing that right, but if you're not thinking about all the little things, I can tell you your technique's gonna slip, right? You watch anybody that has a ring rust, right? They'll be dropping their hands a lot more. So when you're thinking of all the little things while you're training, that's how you wire it into your body, and your brain actually gets younger, believe it or not. We have a whole section on, neuroplasticity, and it's fact. It's not my opinion. It's not, weird guru stuff. It's fact. It's how your brain works. Boxing and kickboxing work in mitts, and the way we teach, there's nothing better for making you sharper mentally, regardless of your age. So there's a lot in this program, but I hope this made a little bit of sense. So you have your under, your load, and you have your counters, then the step out and under, back in with the right kind of angles. It's devastating, right? I mean, these things aren't if they're going to work, it's when they work.
For sure. You know what? You got me a little bit pumped up. I'm going to have to get the bag out and get to work myself.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting there thinking, are my hands up when I'm demonstrating this stuff? And that's another thing that teaching does, is that it will keep the instructor sharp. If you're saying 4 points of contact at each punch, 3 points of contact, all right, chin down, roll those shoulders. Then when you're demonstrating it, that's going through your head. And that's kind of what traditional martial arts, where they had the degrees of black belt. When you get black belt and you start teaching, that's why they would take you to another level, because it absolutely makes you sharper when you can teach it. But you know what, guys, what I can't stand, if you don't know what you're doing, don't teach somebody else. Send them somewhere. You now have resources. Don't do that. We see it all day long. And to me, it's arrogant. Number one, if you think you're already ready to teach this and you're making those mistakes, I think it discredits the sport. But we're here for you. We'll help you in any way we can. So you don't have to be that person anymore.
All right, guys. So look, thanks for doing that live, David, Brooklyn. We're trying to get more of these live sessions in so people can learn and ask questions. This will also be on the channel later. So if you have any comments, please drop them in. If you're seeing this later, you can put a replay down there so that we know that you were here. And go to fighterscollege.com if you want to just learn a little bit about what's included in this program. All right, Dave, I'm going to let you get on and finish Brooklyn's workout, and we'll see everybody next time.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys, for watching. And again, reach out with any questions or have comments. We're happy to help you.